Thank you, folks, for joining us. Hope you can see me loud and clear. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. We are on our day 12 campaign trail. We're going for 91 days. We will get there. So for the next 91 days, that is what we're going to be doing. I just would like to remind you that we're asking you for your donation towards the course of action of the Young Yoruba for Freedom. We're basically asking you to donate $1 or more every other month throughout the duration of our public course of action so that we can use this fund to carry out some of our activities to lobby the congressmen in the United States of America and then for other purposes that we would like to use it for, including to give you free copies of our publications. So to those who cannot transfer money directly, you can use PayPal, paypal.me/grandson YYF. And then we have a domicile account in London. I've written the information in the comment section. You can see the account details. For those of you who would like to donate from Nigeria, we used to have the Naira account, but some scrupulous element who are Yoruba Libra, they pretended as if they want to make donation, but they reported our accounts to the Fulani in Nigeria because Fulani control virtually all our life in Yoruba land, so they seized that fund. But we've created additional Naira accounts because they cannot stop us. That is the reality. But those of you who would like to send money that the money will receive it, you can use word remit and transfer the money to us here in London. We'll get it. If you use word remit, we'll definitely get it. And then yesterday was very fantastic on YouTube, other than the fact that the Libra Yoruba and some criminally minded Igbo flagged our presentation on YouTube throughout, because I always try to limit it to 30-minute section on Facebook so that we can do additional 30-minute section on YouTube. These are deliberate issues. So thanks so much, folks, for joining us. Mr. Wahab Latif, kindly help me to copy the details of our bank account so that people can see it. Thank you so much. So many women are now joining me, and I was recently informed that there is a YYF women wing now. I was rightly informed that they've actually given me a nickname. They call me Sugar Boy. So these are women that are waking up to the message that we are preaching. So, and I think I like the name. So I don't know what it means. I don't know why they're calling me Sugar Boy. But that is just the name they've given me. It's a women wing, and there's some young women just came up together and said, look, this guy is speaking the truth. We have to do something about it. So as part of our campaign trail number 12, I would like to say something. I watched the video of Adilov's son, Aremu Afolayan, He was lamenting profusely, and he was accusing Buhari because of the experience that was meted out to him at the Lagos International Airport. You know, we don't call it Muritala Muhammad International Airport again. It connotes bad thing for the Yoruba nation. The guy was lamenting, he was blaming Buhari, he was blaming the governor of Lagos State as well. But his anger is misdirected. The anger is misdirected because it is not Buhari, it's not the problem. The governor of Lagos State is not the problem. It is the system that is the problem. You cannot have a people who do not speak the same language, who has not the same culture, not the same tradition, not the same norms and value system, and you couple them together under a unitary system. Nigeria is a multicultural society. In a multicultural society, you allow the diverse ethnic groups to be on their own, to govern themselves, without which there will be problem that we are facing now. We faced the problem of OPC in the past. We faced the problem of MASOP in the past. We faced the problem of MEND in the past. We're currently facing the problem of Boko Haram, and the ideology of HIPOP came on board. When you have a unitary system in a society that is multicultural, you have this multifarious problem. So the guy that was lamenting in the video because the way and manner he and his friends were treated at the airport, his anger is misdirected. He ought to have been canvassing for Oduduwa Republic, or at the very least, a return to the regional system of government. Where we have regional government, it is not Fulani that will be in charge of the Muritala Muhammad Airport. It will be Yoruba. Because under the regional government, you decentralize everything. You decentralize the police along the regional line. You decentralize the army along the regional line. You decentralize the courts. You decentralize the health system, education system. Everything will be decentralized. The United Kingdom created Nigeria. If you come to their country, everything is decentralized. That is why if you live in England, you will pay university fee. But if you live in Scotland, you will not pay university fee. Yet these two regions, England and Scotland, are part of one country called the United Kingdom. So, but in Nigeria, the Igbo and the Fulani want us to be one because we have black skin. So that is why I keep saying to the young Yoruba, it is not the color of your skin that defines your nationality. It is your language. It is your culture. It is your norms and value system. There is no language called Nigerian language, but there is a language called Yoruba language. There is a language called Igbo language. There is a language called Hausa language. This is what defines us. If you want to destroy this, you will destroy yourself. You will continue to kill yourself. That is why everybody wants to kill each other in Nigeria. So the anger of Aremu Olayan is misdirected. We blame Shagari when he was there. We blame Obasanjo when he was there. We blame Yaradua when he was there. We blame Jonathan when he was there. We are now blaming Buhari. But how many people are blaming Awolowo? How many people are blaming Ahmadu Bello? Nobody is blaming them because these guys operated under the regional system. When Awolowo was the prime minister of the Yoruba Western region, he did excellently well for one reason only, because all the resources that was generated in Yoruba land, he was the one managing it. But today, what do you have? Buhari is the one managing the Yoruba wealth. Buhari a Fulani. It is like you appointed me the Governor General of England, and I'm a Yoruba citizen. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to put Yoruba in everywhere. So it doesn't really go well. The argument of Mr. Aremu Afolayan is misdirected. His anger is misdirected. Buhari is not the problem. The governor of Lagos State is not the problem. The problem is the unitary system. And the Igbo and the Fulani want the unitary system because they are stealing the Yoruba wealth. So having said that, It is a miscalculated deceit on the part of the Yoruba PDP to try to sell Atiku to you as an alternative, as a better alternative to Buhari. They are deceiving the Yoruba public. Atiku is not a better alternative to Buhari. Both are Fulani, and they will only safeguard and protect the interests as well as the welfare of the Fulani people first and foremost. You cannot replace Buhari, a Fulani, with another Fulani. That is stupidity on the part of the Yoruba nation. The problem is the unitary system. Get this into your skull. Nigeria is not like the United States of America. 7 people created what you now call the United States of America. 7 people. And these 7 people are European people. English, French, German, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and Belgian. These were the 7 people that created what is today the United Kingdom, the United States of America. They left their own individual countries across Europe from persecution. They were being persecuted for their religious belief, for their political beliefs, and they left to take the land from the Native Americans because they were all immigrants. So when they got to America, they created a political system that is called federalism. They created states. But these states were independent of the federal government. The states they created in America were like a nation. That was the system that was suitable to them because every single white Americans today were immigrants originally from Europe. But if you look at the political system in what a country that is called Great Britain of Northern Ireland, that is the country that created Nigeria. God Almighty did not create Nigeria. If you look at the UK, they are not using states like the United States of America. The United States of America is using state because the people in America are immigrants, whether white or black. That was why they subscribed to state as their federating unit. If you look at the people that made up the United Kingdom, they were not immigrants. They were indigenous people. God Almighty created them in that space. That is why they use region in the United Kingdom. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The Yoruba people, we are not like Americans. We are like the people of the United Kingdom. If you see me and if you have noticed, I condemn the English conservative government. I condemn them because of the role they are playing by propping up the radical Fulani Islamists to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation, because the English are the one giving weapons, selling weapons to the Fulani, giving Fulani military training to kill the Yoruba nation. That is my anger against the English government. I refer to them as self-serving career politicians. But this English gave us a beautiful system that is necessary in a multicultural country like Nigeria. That system was parliamentary system that was based on ethnic, linguistic, regional government. The English divided Nigeria into 3 regions as far back as 1951. We are not practicing the unity system. Afolayan that is shouting, crying, making videos about his experience at the Lagos International Airport. His anger is misdirected. Buhari is not the problem. Atiku is not the solution. The problem is the unitary system. So when the English were living in 1960, they gave us that beautiful fundamental system that is necessary in a multicultural country. It is regional government. The question I will need to ask the young Yoruba is this: why is it that the Hausa Fulani is desperate to want to develop Yoruba land? Why is it that the Igbo want us to continue with a unitary system? But ask yourself, why is it that an average Yoruba want to go back to regional government? The Igbo and Hausa Fulani want the current unitary system. Not that they like the Yoruba, because they are stealing Yoruba wealth. They don't want Yoruba to develop. They want to keep you down. The Yoruba want to be build their nation to be at par like England or at par with what is going on in Japan. But the Igbo want the system to be shithole. That is why both Igbo and Fulani will forever subscribe to the unitary system of 36 state structures. No, we have to go back to the regional government of Yoruba region, Igbo region, Hausa Fulani region, Kanuri region, Nupe region, Junkun region, Ijo region, Edo region. That was why Enauro, late Enauro, under Pronaco, that was why he suggested that Nigeria go back to regional government, and he divided the country into 18 regions. There are others who have suggested that let us divide the country into 6 regions. 3 regions will be monocultural, 3 others will be multicultural. The Northwest will be Hausa Fulani region because they are predominantly Hausa Fulani. The Southwest will be Yoruba region. The Southeast will be Igbo region. But the South-South, the Middle Belt, and the Northeast will be multicultural because there are other ethnic groups that are forming those areas. So the solution is not for him to be crying and be condemning Buhari. The Yoruba still don't get it. The Yoruba don't get it. You cannot mix up people and you will not have the crisis you are having currently. We will continue and forever be killing ourselves until we either break up Nigeria or we return to regional system of government. Now, let me show you one thing, folks. You know, when I came out with the concept of the 1999 Constitution, I only focused on the revenue area. And I said to you that 1999 Constitution is a shithole constitution. It's not good. I'm very glad that young Yoruba are now quoting that constitution to show that it's horrible. I said that we have to go back to the 1963 Constitution, but I never made mention of 1960 Constitution. Our first constitution prior to independence was 1960. We've had other constitutions before 1960, but the fundamental constitution upon which we form what is called Nigeria was the 1960 Constitution. But that 1960 Constitution, there was one single change in the 1963 Constitution. The 1960 Constitution, it is still the same thing as the 1963 Constitution. The only difference is that in 1960, the Queen of England was our Governor General. But we became a republic in 1963 by removing the Queen of England as our Governor General. That was just the only difference. Now, let me show you the 1960 Constitution. It's a very beautiful constitution. Young Yoruba need to study that constitution. You don't need to read everything because I've not read everything. I read what is important. This guy that is shouting, condemning Buhari, condemning the governor of Lagos State, if he had suggested that we go back to regional government or we declare for Oduduwa Republic, his lamentation would have been well appreciated. But for him to be thinking Buhari is the problem, that shows how arrogantly we are as a people. The white people don't think about that. That is the reason why the UK is practicing regional government. America is using state as a federating unit. The difference between the two is that America is the land of the immigrants. The UK is the land of its indigenous people. Nigerians, whether Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Kanuri, Nupe, Junkun, Igala, Igbira, Ijo, Edo, Ogoni, Efik, Ibibo. We are not immigrants in Nigeria. We are indigenous. The only set of group of people who are immigrants in Nigeria are the Fulani. Fulani are from Futajalon. They are never indigenous to Nigeria. But you imagine that foreigners are now leading the indigenous people in Nigeria. That is one reason why you are having problems. But these foreigners who are Fulani, they have always had the backing of the criminally minded Igbo. Igbo are the problem of Nigeria, believe you me. They don't want us to go back to regional system of government. Now I'm going to read this 1960 Constitution for you so that you appreciate what we're talking about. See, it says page 8 of the Constitution of the Federation of Nigeria, 1960. I'm going to read chapter 1 to you. I'm not going to belabor you. the Federation and its territory. Effects of this Constitution. Paragraph 1 says, and I quote, the Constitution shall have the force of law throughout Nigeria and subject to the provisions of Section 4 of this Constitution. If any other law, including the Constitution of a region, is inconsistent with this Constitution, this Constitution shall prevail, and the other law shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. But look, listen, folks, this is where it gets very interesting. I'm only reading chapter 1, which is just a single page. Under the establishment of the Federation, paragraph 2 says, the Federation of Nigeria shall consist of regions and a federal territory. Folks, you can see, that is the 1960 Constitution. This is the beautiful Constitution the English colonial talk gave to us. They were very reasonable because they appreciate the fact that the Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and others are not the same. You cannot force them together under the current unitary system. So that was why paragraph 2 says the Federation of Nigeria shall consist of regions and a federal territory. Now, under the territories of the Federation, paragraph 3 reads, under paragraph 3, there is subsection 1. It says, there shall be 3 regions. That is to say, Northern Nigeria, Western Nigeria, and Eastern Nigeria. Under section 2 of paragraph 3, it says, Northern Nigeria shall comprise those parts of the former protectorate of Nigeria that on the 13th day of September 1960 were comprised in the northern region of Nigeria. Under paragraph 3 of section 3, it says, Western Nigeria shall comprise those parts of the former colony. Listening and listening good, particularly to the Igbo criminals who are always saying that Lagos is not part of Western region. Let me read that paragraph again. It says, Western Nigeria shall comprise those parts of the former colony and protectorate of Nigeria that on the 13th day of September 1960 were comprised in the Western region of Nigeria. Lagos used to be called colony, Lagos colony. So from this constitution that I'm reading to you of 1960, Lagos was actually part of the Western region. The only part of Lagos that was not part of the Western region was Victoria Island and Ikoyi. As of 1960, these two areas were referred to as the Federal Capital Territory. But Epe, Badagry, Ikeja, Ikorodu, and the rest were part of the Western region. So you can see the Constitution of Nigeria. Now let me read paragraph 4, subsection 3 to you. It says, Eastern Nigeria shall comprise those parts of the former protectorate of Nigeria that on the 13th day of September 1960 were comprised in the Eastern region of Nigeria. Now paragraph 5 says, the Federal Territory shall comprise those parts of the former colony of Nigeria that on the 13th day of September 1960 were comprised in the Federal Territory of Lagos. That is a beautiful system. Then the Federal Capital Territory was only Ikoyi and Victoria Island. All other area, all other part of Lagos were part of the Western region. But folks, let me say something that this constitution says that is very, very wonderful. Under alteration of this constitution, that means to change this constitution, see what the constitution says. To change this constitution, this is under paragraph 4. It says, Parliament may alter any of the provisions of this constitution, or insofar as it forms part of the law of Nigeria, any of the provision of the Nigeria Independent Act 1960. Sorry, folks, listen to this very well. To change this constitution, only the Parliament may alter any of the provision of this constitution. So you see, guys, that is the law that the entire people of Nigeria agreed to before independence. Only the Parliament can change that constitution. But what do you have? The 1999 constitution was single-handedly written by the Fulani, for the Fulani, and for the benefit of the Fulani. So, young Yoruba, you see that these Fulani, who are even minor immigrant. You know, I'm an immigrant in England. Imagine me ruling them, immigrant. So do you think the English will accept that? The Constitution of 1960, that was the document that was signed before we agreed to independence. You remember in 1954, Awolowo said he doesn't want Yoruba to be part of Nigeria. He wants Yoruba out. The English said, okay, let us confirm from the Hausa Fulani. Hausa Fulani said, no, they want the English to remain, to continue to govern us. So the English now said, okay, Yoruba, you have a different view. You want us to leave and you want to be on your own. Fulani are saying, no, we should stay. Now let us ask the Igbo. The English asked the Igbo, and Azikiwe spoke on behalf of the Eastern region. He said the English should tarry a while and wait till 1960. So you see, we have never been the same, but we have to give glory and we have to give adoration. That is how Christians say it, to the English who taught about regional system of government. That is what the constitution that we all agreed to. No one agreed to the 1999 constitution of a unitary presidential system that gave you 36 state structures. The 36 state structure is a way of Fulani and the Igbo of stealing Yoruba wealth. Now, this brings me to my question, folks. Why does an average Yoruba wishes to go to America or any European country? Why exactly do you want to go to America? You are a Yoruba citizen. You have your home space, but you want to live in America. You want to go to Germany. You want to go to France. Oh, I want to go to England. Why exactly? When you have your own country, how many white Americans are saying, we want to go and live in Nigeria? How many Germans are saying, I want to live the rest of my life in Nigeria? How many English are desiring to come and live in Nigeria? How many? But I'm asking the young Yoruba, why exactly do you want to go to America? Why do you want to go to England? The answer is simple. I wrote it here. For a better life. You want to better your life. That is why you want to go to America. America is great today based on the ingenuity of white Americans. England is great today based on the ingenuity of the English. France is great today based on the ingenuity of the French. Germany is great today based on the ingenuity of the Germans. But when we had regional government, Yoruba region was the best place to live in Africa based on the ingenuity of the Yoruba people led by Awolowo under a regional government. Regional government simply means that Yoruba, you were managing your own wealth. But under the unitary system, they take your wealth to Abuja and share your money with the Igbo. They share your money with the Hausa Fulani. That is why you are poor. And you will remain poor until you stop the Fulani and the Igbo from taking your wealth. Wealth is not based on natural resources. Wealth is based on human capital, brain power. Go to the United States of America, come to England, go to their hospitals, you will see what is called civilization. They have one of the best hospitals in the world. Look at their bridges, look at their roads, look at their railway system. Do you know what it means to have underground train station, underground railway system? That is train travel through underground, through the tunnel. That is an ingenuity from their engineers. Look at their military, American military. They have submarine, they have hydrogen bomb, they have nuclear bomb, they have drone. These were produced based on the human capital embedded in their people. This is called wealth. Majority of you have never read the book, Wealth of Nation, written by Adam Smith in 1776. That is why I keep saying to young Yoruba, you cannot listen to a nurse when it comes to economic policy. She doesn't have a clue. You cannot listen to somebody like Pius Adesami who studied French, first degree, French, master's degree, French, PhD. You cannot listen to him when it comes to political economy of the Yoruba nation or Nigeria. He doesn't have a clue. And this is the reason why I keep saying to the young Yoruba, brain is very important. Stop killing or undermining the greatness of any Yoruba that you know who has brain power. The Libra, stop trying to destroy Adeyinka grandson. Stop trying to destroy Tinubu. Stop trying to destroy Oshibado. These people have brains. It is brain power that is the wealth of any nation. But because Fulani don't have this brain power, the Igbo don't have this brain power, that is the only reason they are rejecting a return to the regional system of government. So young Yoruba, you want to go to America, you want to go to England, you want to go to Germany for one basic reason, to better your life. Now the question I will ask you is this: why is it that you cannot better your life in Yoruba land? Why must you go to other people's country before you are successful? You cannot better your life because of poverty. That is the simple truth. Why is there poverty? Because there is unemployment. Because there is no qualitative health care. Ordinary malaria is still killing people in Yoruba land. Because there is no qualitative education. Because there is no welfare benefit system. I have challenged some of my superior friends who we graduated from university and those I met in this country. They keep telling me America is a capitalist country. They keep telling me England is a capitalist country. I just said to them that you just have certificate, but you don't have common sense. In America, they do what is called welfare system. People who are poor are paid money. They are provided with food. They are given affordable housing, yet you call them capitalist society. In England, this is what they do. People receive all manners of benefit. If you are jobless, they will give you benefit. If you don't have accommodation, if you are homeless, they will give you a house. They are not capitalist society. It may look like capitalist society in your face, but they are making provision for the poor. This was what Awolowo ran under the regional government. We have welfare benefit system, the best and the first in the whole of Africa, because we were able to manage our wealth. But today, our port, Apapa Wharf, is generating 6 trillion naira. This money is taken to Abuja and shared with the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo. When Awolowo was the prime minister, the entire 6 trillion naira was in Awolowo's pocket for the benefit of the Yoruba nation. That is how you run a nation. The Hausa Fulani do not have to rely on the wealth of the Yoruba. They have to look for their own wealth in their own region. So young Yoruba, if you want to go to America to better your life, because you are experiencing poverty in Yoruba land, you are experiencing poverty because your wealth is being stolen by the Fulani. So you are stupid when you look at white Americans and say they are racist. You are foolish when you look at the English and say they are racist. Fulani are taking your jobs. So you want to go to other people's country and better your life. Now you have to stop what is causing poverty in Yoruba land. Simply mean you will stop the unitary system. If the Fulani says, no, we will not allow this unity system to stop, you fight and break up Nigeria. If you do not, you will continue to suffer and your children will suffer. So look up to America and show respect to a people who have built a nation. You have to build Yoruba land too. We all cannot be running away. So that is why we are calling on young Yoruba, make donation. If you make donation, I assure you one thing, I am going to take Yoruba out of Nigeria. Look, Awolowo couldn't do it. I don't have Awolowo's brain. Awolowo is too extremely brilliant for me to say that I am like Awolowo. No, I don't think I have that brilliance. As a matter of fact, do you see Awolowo running after women, chasing women up and down? But I do that. I do that. I'm being very honest, man. I do not have the wealth and the connection of MKO Abiola. He knows people all over the world, yet he was summarily arrested and assassinated by the Fulani, by the English Conservative Party and the Democratic Party in America. I do not have the combination of these two individuals. I am a nobody, but I'm the one that is going to take Yoruba out of Nigeria. It is somebody you undermine. It is somebody you believe he cannot do it. These are the people that change the course of history. And I keep saying to you, I iron out how we're going to do it. We're going to do this by war. How do we do it? We blow up Apapa Wharf. We blow up Tinkerport. We blow up Lagos International Airport. And we blow up Lagos Stock Exchange. Nigeria is finished. I assure you. If we blow up these 4 facilities, it is done for Nigeria. And I gave you a second scenario. If you don't want to blow up all of these facilities, you negotiate with the United States of America, because the Yoruba had it says, Ajatoba Leni Leni Longpobo. The Fulani, they are always, the Fulani and the Igbo suspended the regional government. Ever since they suspended the regional government, our life has been miserable as Yoruba. So the Fulani and the Igbo always work together to put themselves in power. When they are in power, they refuse to return Nigeria to regional government. So for Fulani to perpetrate themselves in power, they enlist the support of the English. Now, I, with my group, and I said, I cannot fight the Fulani because they have the backing of the English. I need a superior firepower. That is why I'm reaching out to the United States of America. I am not foolish. I run one of the most sophisticated movements that the Yoruba nation has ever produced. It is people that are nobody. It is people that you condemn. It is people that you undermine that end up to change the course of history. That is why my group will take Yoruba out of Nigeria. I've been saying this to you, but you don't know how dedicated we are. But unfortunately, if we don't have funding, believe you me, we will stop and we will be back to square one. The other alternative I gave you, apart from war, apart from negotiation, is to produce a pro-Yoruba as the president of Nigeria. If Tinubu should be president of Nigeria, we will have regional government, or at the very least, we'll have regional government or Oduduwa Republic. If Oshibado is the president of Nigeria, it's going to return Nigeria back to the regional government. So the people who came up with the propaganda that Buhari is dead, that Buhari is Jubrin, they are foolish people and are criminally minded. These are Igbo. They were the one who have been telling you for months that Nnamdi Kanu has been killed by the Nigerian state. Yet Nnamdi Kanu just came out now. So these guys are only full of propaganda. When you don't have, I can hear some knock. When you don't have human capital, believe me, you cannot build a sustainable society. Igbo don't have it. Do you see Yoruba rushing to the East Igbo land to go and work, to go and live there, or to go and get education there? No, because that area is not sustainable. Do you see Yoruba running to the Hausa Fulani land to go and live there, to go and get education there? No, because that society is not sustainable. But Fulani want to die in Yoruba land. The Igbo want to die in Yoruba land. Yoruba, because you have the human capital, you've been able to build your society. So you want to go to America, you want to go to England, you want to go to Germany to better your life. Your life, you cannot better your life in Nigeria, in Yoruba land specifically, because of the unitary system. So you understand and you identify the problem, right? You cannot better your life in Yoruba land because of unitary system. So our generation must fix this problem. It is not sufficient to identify a problem and you forget about it. The solution is very simple. We must remove the unitary constitution 1999 from our body politics. It is very simple. The young Yoruba, the option is not Atiku. That one is a criminal. The option is not Buhari. So I'm asking you not to vote for either of them. I'm asking you for one thing only. The only way we can change the course of history is to take Apapa Wharf, is to take Tinkerport, is to take Lagos International Airport, and we take Lagos Stock Exchange. Folks, we have done that before. During the June 12th, we took that port for 7 days. But the English Navy came to help the Hausa Fulani and retake that port. So what we are going to do is to destroy the port, not to be operational anymore. That port, Apapa Wharf, is generating 6 trillion naira every year. For goodness sake, sit down in your house and think about what 6 trillion naira would do for the Yoruba nation. Tinker Port is generating 4 trillion naira every year. Think for a moment what that money would do for the Yoruba nation. So folks, if you think that Atiku will change Yoruba land for good, you must be foolish. If you think Buhari is not dead, forget about the Igbo propaganda that is Jobrin. If you think Buhari will change your life as Yoruba for good, you are crazy. So the solution is very simple. Buhari wants to be president of Nigeria because of Apapa Wharf, because of Tinker Port, because of Lagos Stock Exchange, and because of Lagos International Airport. Atiku wants to be president of Nigeria because of the wealth in Yoruba land. So young Yoruba, you have the power to stop both of them by taking back your wealth. If you don't take back your wealth, you think you want to go to America to better your life, you will work as slave for white Americans, because white Americans have developed their own space. That was why President Trump said people should stay back in their country and make it great. If you think you will better your life by going to England, you will serve as slaves to the English in their country. You will work as their bus driver. You will work as their train driver. I was reading newspaper today when I closed from work coming for this campaign. I read in the news that train manager will get extra 4,000 pounds on top of their 100,000 pounds salary every year. Meanwhile, train drivers will get only extra 2,000 pounds on top of their 50,000 pounds salary every year. Who are the train drivers in England? Predominantly black people who are Yoruba. Who are the train managers? It is the English. They just sit around and monitor the activities in the train stations. They don't do any Akulian tax. It is what the Yoruba are doing. But the English are not racist because England belongs to them. It is the Yoruba who are foolish. Our own police in Yoruba land, our children cannot work there. Our own immigration in Yoruba land, our children cannot work there. Our own military divisions and barracks, our children cannot work there in Yoruba land. Our own prisons in Yoruba land, our children cannot work there. You say you want to go and better your life in England, and when the English don't give you the job, you call them racist. But Fulani have taken over all the best jobs in Yoruba land, but you don't call Fulani racist. Every time you talk about slavery and colonization, you hate white American because of slavery. You hate the English because of slavery. Meanwhile, Fulani are coming from Sokoto, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Jigawa, Zamfara states to control your police, to control your waterways in Yoruba land, to control your custom in Yoruba land, to control the best jobs in Yoruba land. But you are not calling Fulani racist. You open your mouth and abuse the English. You open your mouth and abuse white Americans. You are stupid. Folks, you are stupid. So it is an act of slavery and colonization for Yoruba jobs to be given to Fulani jobs in Yoruba land. That is what is called slavery. So folks, that is this for tonight. We're on our number 12 campaign trail. We're doing this for 91 days. I assure you one thing. I will get you to do a republic. Look, we're so sophisticated. You don't have the time to read the 1960 Constitution, but we've read it, and we're telling you what is there. You don't have the time to read the 1999 Constitution, but we've read it. You don't have the time to articulate policy to jumpstart economic growth and development for Yoruba land, but we are doing it. You don't have the time to speak up because everything you think that when you speak up, you are going to be assassinated. When you speak up, they are going to kill your family. My parents were arrested, but they were not, nothing was done to them. The state went to my father and gave him a clear warning, telling my father to talk to me. My mother, she couldn't sleep at home anymore. If we stop, it will take some time for another group of people or generation to come up and speak what we're doing. This is the time for you to make donation. If you don't give us money, we will get tired. We can no longer be using our personal wealth. As a matter of fact, we've had a meeting whereby people have said, for my own security, I should resign my job. And I said, no, I cannot resign my job. I understand Yoruba very well. I have children. I need to take care of them. I can't resign my job. I'm scared to do that. But it's very easy. Fulani can contact the English and say to the English not to allow me to work anymore because of what I'm doing. Waking up the sleeping giants in the young Yoruba. So you can do your own part by making donation, by making contribution. Atiku is not the solution. Buhari is not the solution. If the Igbo and the Fulani will not allow us to go back to the constitution that we agreed to under the regional government, we break up Nigeria, fine. I'm saying this to you. Look, Ika Udoba, look at my fingers. They are not equal. Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, and the Yoruba, we cannot develop equally. The Yoruba will be richer than these two because we have human capital, we have natural resources, we have shoreline, we have homogeneous language, we speak one language. We have everything that is necessary to become a great nation. We are losing over 355 million daily for being part of Nigeria. If we reach out to President Trump, he's a very just man. He's very fair in his dealing. We cannot continue like this. Since the 80s, Yoruba have been running away from Nigeria. We've been running away to America. We've been running away to England. In 2018, the Yoruba still desire to run away from Yoruba land. We don't have to run no more. You just have to support the young Yoruba for freedom. Look at that beautiful name, Young Yoruba for freedom. We are fighting for your freedom and for your liberty. What we are doing is legitimate. We are challenging the young Igbo that look inward, use your brain, make Igbo land great. We are challenging the young Hausa Fulani, use your brain, make your region great. Stop relying on the wealth generated in Yoruba land anymore. We want to use our wealth to develop our space. But if you fail to make donation, we will stop doing what we are doing. They have done so much to silence us because we are waking up the young people. My mother will pray for me every day in the middle of the night, naked, because she doesn't want her son to be killed. My father doesn't really give a damn. You know, we men, we don't really give a damn. Think about this woman. I jeopardize the security of my children. I jeopardize my own security. I live in London. It is a space that the Fulani can easily assassinate me. It is a space that the Igbo can easily assassinate me. Fulani and the English are working together. But are we stopping? No, because 200 young Yoruba children are dying every day from sanitation-related diarrhea. Yoruba women are dying every day from childbirth. We have to think about these people. And I said in the beginning of this lecture that young Yoruba women, I'll call them ladies, they have formed their own organization, Yoruba, why have Women Wing. And then I said to you, they gave me a name, Sugar Boy. Don't know why they gave me. So we are waking up the people. You should not vote for Buhari. Do not vote for Atiku. I want you to think about Oduduwa Republic. We must reinvest our wealth. Whatever wealth that is generated in Yoruba must be used for the greater glory of the Yoruba nation. Folks, thank you very much. I'm always taking questions on YouTube, so I will have to hang it now on Facebook, and I'll continue to take questions and read comments on YouTube. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to make donation. Thank you, cheers. But I will continue on YouTube if you would like to join me. Adeyinka Grandson is my link. And always try and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get notification. Thank you, folks. God bless you. Hi, guys. Yeah, Mr. Benga, I think I've said so much today. I was reading in the news today, reading newspaper while I was closing from work, that the people in England are considering taking another referendum over the Brexit. You know, they left the EU to stop migration of people coming into their space. But it will surprise you that this same English who voted out of EU, they don't want Nigeria to break because they are making so much money from our poverty. They are stealing our wealth. English are stealing our wealth in conjunction with the Fulani. You see, the game Fulani play is very simple. Fulani cannot win election in Nigeria without Igbo. They know that they don't get Yoruba vote, by the way. So since 1959, Igbo has always supported. So they use the Igbo to get to power. But to maintain that power, they need the support of the English. So that's why they always go to the English. In return, what do they do for the English? They give English our wealth in Yoruba land. So that's why we have poverty. Where there is poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. Our women who are engaging in prostitution, if they have jobs, do you think they will be opening their legs for everybody? Our girls are not standing on the street as prostitutes. They are in school doing aristo. They are in their home. They use the internet to advertise for people to come and have sex with them. It is because of poverty. Why do you have poverty? Because of unemployment. Why is there unemployment in Yoruba land? Because all the taxes generated in Yoruba land are taken to Abuja for the benefit of the Hausa, Fulani, and the Igbo. So poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. So that's why our young boys are involved in money ritual. When there is no job, poverty. That is why our young men are involved in Yahoo Yahoo. So because of too much poverty, that is why this movement is alive and kicking. So that's why we're appealing to you. This movement should not die. But where we have no donation coming from you, it will die a natural death. Some of you cannot do the kind of research that we do and the kind of what we are pushing to the public. But you have to encourage people like us by making donation. There are young Yoruba who are in Yoruba land ready to fight and defend the civilization of the Yoruba nation. We all cannot be running to America, cannot be running to England, to go to Germany to better our life. We want Yoruba dreams to come back. We want that dreams to come back. So that's why I'm appealing to you guys, particularly our women. We just want to take care of you women. You know, you are the one that is suffering the most. No woman should throw her body to men for money. No, that causes depression, that causes anxiety, which is going to lead to death. This is not this is not what they want to do. It is poverty caused by Fulani. They are stealing our wealth. You can imagine, I'm going to speak about Federal Road Safety Commission. If you know how much money Federal Road Safety Commission is taking from Yoruba now, and this money goes to Abuja, folks, you will just shake your head. Everywhere in the world, it is taxation that they use to sustain their society. When Awolowo ran free education, it wasn't free. Some people were paying tax. Awolowo was using that tax to provide free education. Awolowo was using that tax to provide free healthcare. Awolowo was using that tax to provide a welfare benefit system for the Yoruba nation. There's nothing that is free. So Awolowo create jobs. When people go to work, they earn income, or you call it salary, then they pay taxes. There are companies in Yoruba land. There are companies in Hausa Fulani land. There are companies in Igbo land. You will imagine these companies pay income tax. Why will you take the income tax from all these companies and move it to Abuja? Why? The income tax that these companies in Yoruba land, the income tax they pay, let it stay in Yoruba land. The income tax they pay in Igbo land, let it stay in Igbo land. The income tax they pay in Hausa Fulani land, let it stay there. Why must it go to Abuja? And Abuja will now use the number of states, the number of local government, the number of population, land mass to share that money. That is stealing. They are stealing our wealth because we don't have more state as Hausa Fulani. We don't have more local government as Hausa Fulani. We don't have more fake population like Hausa Fulani. We don't have land mass like Hausa Fulani. So they are stealing your wealth. Companies in Nigeria, they pay 2% of their profit as education tax. They pay 1% of their profit as information technology tax. They take all our taxes in Yoruba, they take it down to Abuja to benefit Hausa Fulani. Folks, I assure you one thing. Like I said in the beginning, it is people you least expected any good thing to come out from that changes the course of history. Look at the people that have done, look at what happened with the IRA. IRA is Irish Republican Army. Their country is called Northern Ireland. It's part of the UK. UK was using, the English were ruling them, using unitary system. Small boys, young men, they just grouped themselves together like young Yoruba for freedom and said, no, we're not going to accept this. They approached the English and said, we want regional government. We want to rule ourselves. If we're going to remain part of the UK, we want to rule ourselves. The English said, no, we are going to continue to rule you. This guy started blowing up everywhere. They got the support of America under President Clinton. President Clinton warned the English, said, give these people their freedom. The English said, no, they are part of the UK. Americans stepped in. America simply made one single decision. America provided them special envoy for Northern Ireland. The moment that was pronounced, English stopped fighting them because America will fucking kill English if they try to attack them. That was a single heart. Today, Northern Ireland is doing well on its own. We cannot continue like this, young Yoruba. You are paying tax, and your tax is going to Abuja. It is crazy. You go and read about the French Revolution. It started because of taxation. Taxation without representation is what? Revolution. In Yoruba land, we drink pure water. In Hausa Fulani land, they also drink pure water. In Igbo land, they also consume pure water. There is tax on this pure water. You ask yourself, why is it that the tax you collected on the pure water in Yoruba land must go to Abuja? The one you collected from Igbo land must go to Abuja. The one you collected from Hausa Fulani land must go to Abuja. You will now share this money back to where you collected them from, but according to number of states, according to number of local government, according to land mass, according to population. So Hausa Fulani that is contributing the least will get the lion's share. This is corruption. This is stealing. These are deliberate action of the Fulani to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. That is why we're not developed. That is why we want to run to America. We want to go to England to better our life when there is wealth in Yoruba land. Sorry, Yoruba, I don't think you know this. You have water. That is the free gift of nature for Yoruba people. Hausa Fulani, they have land because they have expanse of land. But Hausa Fulani are the one controlling our own water in Yoruba land. But we are not controlling their land in Hausa Fulani land. This is an economic injustice. What exactly are Yoruba doing in America? Shit jobs. What are they doing in England? Irresponsible jobs. But the best of our jobs in Yoruba land has been taken away from us, and our jobs are reserved for Fulani. If you go to America, it is the most brilliant people who are in their military. Their best brain are in their police. They are good. One of their best are in their custom. They are in their immigration. These are the best jobs. But come to Yoruba land. Our customs are Hausa Fulani people. Our police are Hausa Fulani people. Our military personnel in Yoruba land are Hausa Fulani people. All the best jobs in Yoruba land has been taken away from us. That's why we're running everywhere, folks. We can't continue like this. But if you keep quiet, if you don't make donation, if you think that we will continue to use our personal way, we will get tired. I'm asking you to make donation. The link is there. You can use PayPal. Just paypal.me/K grandson YYF, or you look at our bank accounts, you make donation. Because our next line of action, we have been lobbying the CIA for a year. Now they are inviting us to come to the United States of America and talk to congressmen and lobby them. And our instruction to them is very simple. We want Yoruba land out of Nigeria. Guys, it's very expensive. I don't have the personal wealth to do this. So that's why we have to appeal to you to make donation. Please do make donation. I assure you one thing. I assure you, we will take Yoruba land out of Nigeria. The Fulani are killing us. They are killing the best of our brains. So guys, I'm going to read your comments and I will try as much as possible to answer them. Oh, thank you, Mr. Bajabia Miller Johnny. You see, let me talk about being intelligent. I am not intelligent. I have corrected this impression. I read. When you read, you will be smart. There's no contest about it. I read newspaper, I read magazine, I read books, and this makes me to appear intelligent to you. So if you do the same thing, you will be intelligent. This is what we're saying to the young Yoruba. You cannot say because you have graduated from university and you stop reading. That's why you don't understand the poverty that is going on in Nigeria. You think Buhari is causing the poverty. You think the Tinubu is the one stealing your wealth. No, it is the unitary system that is destroying your life as Yoruba. So folks, if you read, you will be intelligent. You will be smart. Look, Awolowo said to his lieutenant in the 50s, he said, I am not going to appoint any of you ministers in Yoruba government if you don't have a library at home. I read this from Jakonde's book. Jakonde quickly went and constructed a library at home. Believe me, if you read, you'll be smart. We need smart brain. The liberal Yoruba, they don't even read anything. They are not very smart. That's why they continue to undermine the greatness of Yoruba. The liberal Yoruba will want to embrace and endure the Igbo. They embrace and endure the Fulani who are killing you. Why is it that the Fulani are always struggling to get to control the presidency so that they can control the police, so that they can control the military? They control the state to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation, folks. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Oludari and your lapid. Mr. Oludari is asking people to contribute, not to just make comment. Okay, Mr. Bajabia Amela Johnny, you said, I want grandson to team up with Showore for revolutionary movement come February 16 for presidency. Many Yoruba have donated massively to take back party ACC. Look, I have been saying this several times that Showore is working for the Fulani. I just published a statement he made on the 4th of November when he visited the palace of the Arobo Ijo king. He said specifically that he is Ijo, that the Yoruba people have polluted them. This is the state of mind of Showore. Showore is actually working for the Fulani. Showore is not a revolutionary or anything. Showore doesn't have the good intention of the Yoruba at heart. I've been saying this, and I said specifically the people who were behind it. It was this guy, Pastor Tunde Bakari. I said several times, no one has disputed me anyway. Pastor Tunde Bakari is not a Yoruba man. Pastor Tunde Bakari is a Fulani man. Pastor Tunde Bakari engineered Showore to come and campaign so that they can use Showore to dislodge the revolution that is happening within this mind of the young Yoruba towards Oduduwa Republic. Showore is being sponsored by El Rufai and Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, the emir of Kano, in conjunction with Tunde Bakari. Tunde Bakari is a Fulani man. You remember what he said during the Jonathan conference in 2014? Tunde Bakari went to the conference. He was given the floor to speak. He said, I am not here to support the Yoruba agenda. I am here to support the Nigeria agenda because I am Nigerian. Can you imagine that? Yet, he went to that conference on the slot of Ogun State, a Yoruba state. So you can see, you can see these guys are not, this is why I disregard them most of the time. Sure, it's not the game. Forget it. Sure, it's working for Fulani. folks, you just have to donate. You see, it's not easy. We had problem because we are not in government, but the US congressmen, they have watched a number of my videos, they have read a number of my articles. The very first thing they said to me when we established contact was that, look, what you are doing is good for your people, but you are aware that they will try to assassinate you. For a moment, we were cold, including my deputy. We were very worried. And I said, we will do it. And that we are conscious of the fact that they would like to assassinate me. But people die every day. And there's no success without risk. So, but I assure them that my generation is also ruthless. Because if people are saying to me that they are going to assassinate me, you think I'm going to fold my hands? I would like to assassinate them too. That is the honest truth. Somebody said to my face that they will kill me. You think life is that cheap? No. They said they will kill me because they are taking my control of my port. So they want me and my children to suffer in England, where we are being discriminated. No, that is not going to happen. So folks, forget about assassination. People die every day. But the greatest regret of our life is what dies inside us. So we'll get it, believe you me, because what we are doing is legitimate. The world knows that we are justified. How can we live in England? We are being discriminated against when it comes to employment. We are being discriminated against when it comes to accommodation, housing. We are being discriminated against when it comes to healthcare. We are being discriminated against on all fronts. But we think that they are racist. They're not. That is their country. They need to protect the interests of their children. So how are we going to protect the interests of our own children in Yoruba land? I am not saying that the Yoruba should take the job in Igbo land. No. I am not saying that the Yoruba should control them in Hausa Fulani land. No. I'm saying Hausa Fulani should stop controlling our ports. Hausa Fulani should stop controlling our waterways. Hausa Fulani should stop being in charge of our policing. Hausa Fulani should stop being in charge of our customs in Yoruba land. Hausa Fulani should stop being in charge of our immigration in Yoruba land. Hausa Fulani should stop being in charge of our military division in Yoruba land. They should stop being in charge of our courts. They should stop being in charge of our electricity, being in charge of our transportation. They should allow us to go back to the regional system of government we negotiated before independence. Otherwise, we'll break up Nigeria. Simple. So if somebody said, oh, we are going to assassinate you for that, I assure you folks, we will assassinate them too. Don't be afraid of somebody killing me. People die every day. But with your support, we can move this movement to the greater height. But if you fold your hands and say you are not going to do anything, the civilization of Yoruba nation will be destroyed in your lifetime. Your children will suffer. Your children will be the one who will suffer. So if you cannot speak up the way we are doing, you should be able to make donation. And what we are asking is very small. $1 every month, not every day. Just every month. You don't give us now and say you are not going to do it again. No, that is not how the movement should be. We're doing serious work, folks. Thank you, Mr. Harry Woodbell. So somebody said, why do you so much hate in Nnamdi Kanu, who is seriously fighting for the liberation of Igbo out of Nigeria, just like the way you are trying to do for Yoruba? I do not hate Nnamdi Kanu. People have insulted me on Nnamdi Kanu for far too long. We started our movement. It can be verified through my timeline. We have been doing this, calling for Oduduwa Republic since 2012. The only thing I disagree with Nnamdi Kanu is this. It behaves typically like an average Igbo man or woman with the same state of mind as the Fulani to try to steal what belongs to others. That is how the Igbo are doing. You cannot talk about Biafra and say that Edo people, an empire, is part of your Biafra. You cannot talk about Biafra and say that European people are part of your Biafra. You cannot talk about Biafra and say that the Shekiri, Ijo, Ogoni, Efik, and Ibibio must be part of your Biafra. That means you are doing the exact thing the Fulani are doing. These people I have mentioned do not even speak Igbo. They do not have the same culture, tradition, or norms and value system with the Igbo. They are distinct and different from the Igbo. If Nnamdi Kanu is genuine, he will speak about the 5 Igbo states of Abia, Enugu, Anambra, Ebonyi, and Imo, plus the Igbo in Delta State, who are Aniocha, part of Aniocha, and the Igbo in Oba and Ikwere, as is Biafra. Trying to force Edoland, Ijoland, Ogoniland, Uroboland, Efik, and Ibibio land as part of your Biafra, it is what I call Biafraud. It's a fraud. How can the Igbo be saying that there must be referendum in Edo land? It is the Edo people who must speak up whether they want to be counted as part of Biafra or not. So this is why I disagree with the Igbo. Igbo are typical and they are like Fulani to steal other people's wealth. That is one thing I said. Biafra is a fraud because there is no Igbo man or woman who want to break out of Nigeria with only Igbo speaking area. You want to break out of Nigeria with others. But even if you want to break out of Nigeria with others, you first negotiate with others. You have an agreement, an understanding. But you are forcing Edo to be part of you, forcing Ishekiri to be part of you. No, that is not the way to go. That makes you fraudulent. And as a matter of fact, now I've said that if Nnamdi Kanu is genuine, the Igbo as a nation will have agreed first to a return to the regional system of government, whereby we will be able to decentralize the police. There will be Yoruba police service, Igbo police service, Hausa Fulani police service. And these police services will be under the respective people in their region. If the Igbo are genuine to break out of Nigeria, they will first have agreed to a return to regional government where we will have a decentralized military. The military we have today is a centralized military in the hands of the Fulani. But under regional government, we will break the military into Yoruba regimental armed forces under the command of the Yoruba people. We will have Igbo regimental armed forces under the command of the Igbo, and we'll have Hausa Fulani regimental armed forces under the command of Hausa Fulani. This way, Fulani will not be able to use the military to suppress and subjugate anyone. We will be under regional government. If Igbo had agreed to regional government, we will have decentralized the court system. We will have our own Supreme Court in each of the regions. We will have decentralized educational system. The educational system in Igbo will be different from the educational system in Yoruba, and that one will be different from those one in Hausa Fulani. But the Igbo rejected a return to the regional government during Abacha National Conference. They rejected a return to the regional government during Obasanjo's National Conference, and they also rejected a return to the regional government during Jonathan National Conference. They were calling for more states for Igbo. This makes you criminally minded. If Nnamdi Kanu is genuine, he will have accepted that Igbo-speaking area only should be his Biafra, or in the alternative, a return to the regional government where we will decentralize the police, decentralize the military along regional regimental line. But they are not speaking about that. They want other people's land. That is criminal. That is why Biafra is a fraud. That is why you Igbo have brought out Atiku under the PDP, so that two Fulani will contest for that election, so that they will maintain the unity system you Igbo desire, because you are stealing the word of the Yoruba nation. So Igbo, you are criminal. That is it. It will not change until the day you accept that we'll go back to the regional government. Let me say something to you folks. The Igbo have always argued for additional states. We have said to them, under the regional government, you can create 1 million Igbo states in your Igbo region, provided you fund them by yourself. If you don't use the money generated in Yoruba land to fund your state, what is my business? Even if all your local government in Igbo land are turned to state, it is none of Yoruba problem, provided we do not do monetary allocation that we do, provided we don't go by unitary system. So Igbo, you are the problem of Nigeria, because you are the people who have always been supporting the Fulani. Since 1959, the records are there. The records are very, very clear. So you don't want Biafra and you don't want Nigeria to break. The only thing you want, Igbo people, is the unity system that we're currently using under the state structure. That is what you desire. Yeah, sure. I believe I'm very grateful that people get it. Sure, it's been financed by Fulani. I don't know when people talk about it. Yeah, Mr. K. Kobe, I have challenged the Igbo. If you want to debate me, I am very open, but you have to pay for my time. I do extensive work on Igbo. I have facts. Folks, I will encourage you to go and watch my video. Igbo, clear and present danger in Yoruba land. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's there. Very fantastic video. It's almost 4 hours. I details all the atrocity committed by the Igbo against the Yoruba nation. I've challenged them. If you want to debate me, fine. You pay for my service. I will lecture you and I'll take your questions. I've done that several times. These people, Radio Biafra in America, they brought me to their show 2 times and they were using me to make money without paying for my consultation. When Hillary Clinton is speaking, people pay her money. What I'm doing is not free. I have to read, I have to do extensive research for the interest of the Yoruba nation. That is what. So if you Igbo want me to come and speak to you, you will have to pay for my service. I'm only interested in the greatness of Yoruba land. I am first and last a Yoruba citizen. That is the statement Winston Churchill said several times when he was still alive. He said he is first and last an English. Well, Mr. Ahmed talks. I don't know. I've never had his last comment. I don't see it. This is the challenge I've given to the Igbo, that if you truly want Biafra, the first thing, that the easiest way to get Biafra is a return to the regional system of government. That's the easiest way. You have your own police. There will not be Nigerian police again. Your home police will be 100% Igbo. You have your own army that will be 100% Igbo. In America, it is the state that controls the police and the state control the army. They call their army National Guard. If you come to the United Kingdom, English have their own police, Scottish have their own police, and these police are different. In United Kingdom, English have their own military. They call it Queen's or King's Regiment. In Scotland, it is called Scottish Regiment, and it is the Scottish people who are predominantly there in the military. But what do you have in Nigeria? The Fulani is the Inspector General of Police, controlling all the police formation in Nigeria and putting Fulani there. So that is why the Fulani appears to be powerful. And you have central military, whereby Fulani are controlling all the military division across Nigeria. If we decentralize the military, Fulani will never be able to harass anyone. Look at what happened. Fulani brought him military, Fulani military. Buhari brought him Fulani military men to Aba to go and attack Nnamdi Kanu in his house. Few weeks after that, the Igbo gave Buhari chieftaincy title. Now, this same Igbo have brought out Atiku, a Fulani, as a candidate against Buhari. Atiku paid them $5,000 each. He paid 2,000 Igbo delegates, $5,000. They brought out a Fulani. They are telling you they hate Buhari, a Fulani, but they like Atiku, yet a Fulani. It's like somebody saying that I hate Adeyinka, but I like Tinubu. What Tinubu is going to do if he's the president of Nigeria is the same thing that I would do as the president of Nigeria, because Tinubu will work for the greatness of Yoruba nation. If he's the president of Nigeria, I will work for the greater good of the Yoruba nation as the president of Nigeria. So the Igbo are telling us that Atiku is better than Buhari. They are crazy. Both of them are Fulani. Okay, this guy, let me quickly say this because I've addressed this. Maxwell Bona said, what really caused civil war? Was it what is make up of Aburi Accord, if not about regional government, which federal renamed? No, that is not. I will tell you what caused the civil war, folks. And maybe perhaps I'm going to round it up. Okay, we are 19 minutes after. Now I'm not going to round it up. Folks, this is what caused the civil war. In 1959, there was no clear winner in the election. Three major political parties contested for the election. NCNC led by Zik, Action Group led by Awolowo, and MPC or that party led by Ahmadu Bello. Folks, let me remind you that NCNC, which was led by Zik, was the Yoruba party. It was created by Olayinka Abat Macaulay in 1944. He died in 1946, unfortunately. So Zik became the leader of that party. And by 1949, Zik went to Aba and turned our party, the Yoruba party, NCNC, he turned it into Igbo party. But there were still some Yoruba who were still supporting that party as at 1959 election. So NCNC had the majority popular vote, about 2.5 million votes. Action Group was the second, which is the Awolowo party, about 2 million votes. And then Hausa Fulani party was third, about 1.9 million votes. So Awolowo went to Zik and said, okay, your party, NCNC, had majority. Let us form a coalition. You become the prime minister. I will be the finance minister. Zik would rather work with the Fulani. Zik took an ordinary stupid position, governor general, when Fulani, Tafawa Balewa, became the prime minister. So that was the agreement these Igbo, NCNC, and the Fulani MPC, or that is the name of the party. That was the agreement they had in 1959. But there was a proviso. Zik and Tafawa Balewa agreed that Balewa will only do one term as the prime minister. That in 1964, Balewa will hand over to Zik. I'm telling you, Igbo, what led to the Civil War. That was the agreement. So Igbo and Fulani formed a coalition in 1960. Just less than 2 years after the English left, Igbo and Fulani, they arrested Awolowo in 1962, put him under house arrest, and by 1963, jailed him 10 years. They said Awolowo want to take over their government. They put that guy in prison in 1963. So by 1964, instead of the Fulani, Tafawa Balewa to hand over to Zik, Tafawa Balewa went for a second term. Zik then instructed the Igbo in the military to strike. So the Igbo planned that war and that strike for 2 years. Zik, Tafawa Balewa started fighting in 1964 because Balewa refused to allow Zik to do his own term, because the agreement they had in 1951 was that, in 1959 was that Balewa would do one term and hand over to Zik as the prime minister in 1964. But by 1964, Balewa recontested and won. So Zik signaled to the Igbo who are in the military, because the Igbo were the majority in the military, to strike. So by 1966, the Igbo strike in the military. They killed all the leaders of the Yoruba and all the leaders of Hausa Fulani. The problem of the Yoruba in 1966 was that the Yoruba youth of our age, they ran away to Ghana instead of them to fight the Igbo. But the Hausa Fulani youth, they regrouped and came to attack the Igbo after 6 months. So in July 1966, the Hausa Fulani youth attacked the Igbo and killed all of them. So they killed so many Igbo in the north. So the Igbo in the north ran back to the east. The Igbo in the west, Yoruba, and they ran back to the east. So that was 1966. By 1967, after a year, so it took the Igbo 1 year to plan that war. By 1967, the Igbo then declared the Biafra war. But when the Igbo killed all the Yoruba leaders and all the Hausa Fulani in 1966, they made their man, Agu Rossi, the head of state of Nigeria. The first thing Agu Rossi did was to suspend regional government. He just canceled everything. He turned Nigeria into a unity system. And they were not jubilating. The Igbo were jubilating, ruling everybody. Fulani regroup, kill all of them, and took over government. But Yoruba of that generation, they ran away. That is our parent generation. They caused the problem we're having now. So they ran away. A year after, Igbo declared war. Then Hausa Fulani brought out Awolowo from prison. Then Igbo were expecting Awolowo that they put in prison to support them. When the war started, this ridiculous, stupid Igbo, it was Hausa Fulani who killed them. They were killing the people of Urobo, killing the people of Ijo, killing the people of Edo. Then the Yoruba warned them, don't kill these people, because these people are not Fulani that you are fighting with. Face the north. Then the Igbo went to Yoruba land in Ondo State and killed women, children, and men. That was the reason why the Yoruba got involved in that war and killed the Igbo summarily. We took over everywhere. We gave them economic blockade. The Igbo would tell you that, oh, federal government didn't build ports in Igbo land. They have never had ports. During the war, they were shipping their goods and services, arms and ammunition through the Yoruba port. Awolowo simply stopped it because we were the one controlling our port then. That port was taken away from us in 1975 by Muritala Muhammad. So this is what led to the war. It is your irresponsible Igbo that led to this war. You want to dominate everyone. That is why the war ended. Aburi Accord has nothing to do with regional government. It is simply military rule. So these are the things. You see, the Igbo youth, I keep saying that they don't have human capital. They don't read. All they do is trading. Aburi Accord was military rule. Ojukwu wanted military to continue to rule. The Yoruba said, no, we go back to regional government. Ojukwu said, no, he will rule the East as a military man. The Yoruba said, no, you hand over to a civilian. That was what was in the Aburi Accord, continuation of military rule. That was why the Yoruba rejected it. Since that war, the Igbo and the Fulani have always been working together after that war, before the war. So it is the negotiation between Zik, Igbo, and Tafawa Balewa, Fulani, that led to that war. Yoruba has nothing to do with that war. And the Igbo were killing us. And then let me say something to the Igbo. The generation before us, they did not revenge the killing of our Are Onakakanfo. Akintola, you Igbo killed him. The Hausa Fulani killed our second modern Are Onakakanfo, Abiola. My generation would take your blood for what you have done to the Yoruba nation. Everywhere in the world, if you kill people, there will be a generation that will revenge. So if you Igbo, you want peace, you will not vote this Atiku man that you brought to power. We will demand for a return to the regional government, or we break up the country peacefully. If you want to go out of Nigeria, Igbo, you have to go with your Igbo speaking area. That is legitimate. And if you have human capital, you will now negotiate with your neighbor, Efik Ibibu. You will negotiate with your neighbor, Ijo, so that you can have access to shoreline. But you don't have sense of negotiation. You are not diplomatic at all. You just beat your chest that you are powerful. You are cowards. You call the Yoruba coward, but Zik, who instigated the coup of 1966, he ran away to London. Ojukwu, who declared war in 1967, he ran away to Ivory Coast. Nnamdi Kanu escaped to Ghana, and now is in Israel. Igbo, you have always been running away to face the Fulani, but we, Yoruba, we have never run away. Awolowo could have run away in 1962 when you, Igbo, and Fulani arrested him and put him under house arrest and jailed him for 10 years in 1963. He stood and faced the consequences of his allegations. Abiola did not run away. He came back. He was outside Nigeria when Abacha declared him wanted. He came back and he was arrested before Fulani killed him. His wife, Kudirat Abiola, she did not run away. He was campaigning against the Fulani junta until she was assassinated. Pariwani did not run away. He was in Nigeria fighting the Fulani until they assassinated him. Pa Abraham Adesanya, he was attacked by assassin while he was in Nigeria. He did not run away. Bolage did not run away. Pa Jasin did not run away. But you, Igbo, Zik ran away in 1966. Ojukwu ran away in 1967. Nnamdi Kanu ran away too. You are the coward. We are powerful. Did you think I'm going to run away? What are the things that I've been saying about the English atrocity in making sure that the Fulani suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation? I live in London. Am I afraid of the English police? Am I afraid of the English MI5 or MI6? Can you say the kind of things I'm saying? When the Fulani herdsmen were killing everybody in Yoruba land, I said that it was the English who were behind it. Because I am Yoruba. We're not afraid. And I say to you, my generation will take Yoruba out of Nigeria. You will see. So you, Igbo, you are the problem. You have put us in another dilemma. Head or tail, a Fulani will be president in 2019. It is you, Igbo, who caused it. And then let me say this to you folks. I've repeated it time without number. Tinubu did not bring Buhari to power. No. Tinubu helped Jonathan in 2010 to be substantive president when the Fulani in the PDP and the Igbo in the PDP refused him to be president after the death of Yar'Adua. Tinubu encouraged the ACN senators in the House, in the National Assembly, to fight for Jonathan. They fought for Jonathan, and under the doctrine of necessity, Jonathan was proclaimed substantive president. Then Jonathan negotiated with Tinubu in 2011 to help him to be president. In 2011, Tinubu helped make Jonathan president, but Jonathan treated him back with evil. It was that anger that made Tinubu to work for Buhari. So indirectly, the Igbo and the liberal Yoruba brought Buhari to power. And look at how this man has been doing. He's been killing everyone. Yet, irresponsible Igbo have made another Fulani Atiku the PDP presidential candidate. So it is the Igbo who are the problem. They are deceitful people. They don't have human capital. They don't have any wealth. You see, the Igbo continue to tell you that they have oil wealth in Igbo land. I have read NNPC report several times. Imo, Abia, and Anambra, they are oil prospective states. They are not oil producing states. They are not contributing up to 1% to NNPC revenue. But tomorrow, Igbo will be telling you lies that they are oil producing state. You are not. That is this challenge I gave to them, that if you have oil in Igbo land, you will have been blowing up the pipelines in your region, but you have nothing of such. So you, Igbo, you are the problem. Sorry, what is Ahmed? Okay, let me take him out again. Ahmed, I think this is about 3 times running. So I put it on timeout. I think I'm going to eventually block you, Ahmed. You just come to abuse, and that is not what we're doing. Yeah, Brigadier Ademulegun in 1966 school. Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Olatunji Awu, Professor. They killed a number of Yoruba, those Igbo. So folks, what is most important is this. For the movement to continue, you just have to make donation. Please do make donation. Please make donation. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Luka Yoruba. People just say they are Yoruba. They are not really Yoruba. So, folks, let me just end this. Let me just end it right now. I'm just back from work. I've not even had my dinner, what you call it. I'm a little bit hungry. Now, thank you so much. And you know, we're doing 91 days running. Today is the 12th day, and then tomorrow will be another time. I thank you so much, folks, for always joining us to continue with this campaign. Do not forget, the option is not Atiku, the option is not Buhari. These two individuals will destroy Yoruba land further. So I'm going to see you tomorrow, and then thank you very much. Please, you have to make donations. There's a link there in my first comment. You just have to help us with donation. If you think that we are going to get money from just nowhere, this movement will die a natural death. And I don't want it to die without us achieving our set goal to take Yoruba out of Nigeria. Please, I need your donation, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. God bless you, Oduduwa Agbewa. Ashe.